I'm Pro-A007, by the way, and very happy to be joining you here today. And on the comms with me is Jabum. Welcome.
Hey guys, and it looks like we've actually just started. The guys are going right into it. I wonder if the gravity of the situation is going to make them take more or less risks.
Well, DLP316's already taken a death in 1/6 to the Fire Snake, which is unfortunate. We got Fire Snakes and Fire Chomps right now. Ibuba's having to work his way around a little bit as well.
Yeah, he's taking this very careful off the bat. He didn't even go for the power-up block, which, when you see people skip a power-up, it's usually they really didn't want to go where they saw that.
Right. So yeah, so World 1 is World 1. World Order is randomized. It just so happened in a 1 in 7 chance that, you know, it turned out that way. Ooh! 1/162, one of 2 auto-scrollers. 5-9. Everybody's favorite. 45 seconds of going diagonal.
Yeah, it's one of the only auto-scrollers that they couldn't pull out, I think because of the vertical scrolling. But it's also one of the shortest auto-scrolls in the game.
Yeah, it's not especially long. It moves at a pretty healthy clip, but you just gotta be careful. You don't want to get fire chomps in this one. Those are randomized as far as whether or not they appear. And it does not appear that they are going to be showing up here, so a nice, easy bit of platforming for Ibuba and DLP.
They're also, ironically, the original enemy set for the level.
Right.
The one thing you don't want to see is the vanilla.
And speaking of vanilla, we have our first vanilla stage, or Fred, as we have lovingly called it, with 1 fort in 1 fort.
It's a double Fred because it's World 1 in World 1 with World 1 fort at World 1 fort.
Yeah. And there will be no item collection today. They will have to go after Boom Boom. And Rick and Chad pointing out that 5-9 Fred, our beloved creator of the Mario 3 Rando, found that the level was broken with it. That off, so...
Yeah.
So... You will see, if you had the opportunity, if you have a Lakitu Cloud, that players will skip this level. Another sort of vanilla in world, though not position. 1-5 is 1-1 with fire nippers, chomps off the chain and everything.
Goodness.
And fire nippers too. Yee.
Yeah, this is quite a difficult version of 1-1.
Yeah, it is. DLP was trying to get the item boxed, but the Nipper is playing a very good goalie and keeps him from getting it. So, ooh, wow! This is both auto scrollers. Man, oh man! So, on the one hand, you never want to see them, but on the other hand, well, at least you get rid of them early. Ooh, DLP as Small Mario.
If I was in this situation, I would definitely be thinking, like, well, at least there wasn't a chance for them to, like, get a hammer on their first try in the end card, or, like, a cloud and skip it, whereas I wasn't able to skip it. So you know that your opponent's playing it, so that might make them feel better about seeing the auto-scrollers early.
Right, they don't, neither of them is anywhere really near 80,000 points. Ooh, DLP got caught under the vortex, takes another death. That's unfortunate. We got a Paragoomba kind of lurking about. Ooh, DLP, another death. Gotta be a little careful now, he's down to 2 lives, because 0 counts in this game.
Yeah, Hammer Bros can be tough when you're small.
Yes.
They have very strange hitboxes and movements.
So, Ibuba is done with Atlantis, as we've come to call it. Okay, DLP is finally through. Ibuba is actually going to get his end card now. He's at 80,000 points.
It'll be interesting if he gets a good end card. See, what the next world is.
Yeah, Cramp Royale has already started that. He's saying World 7. Well, that would be something. Get your. I'm gonna say Mustard is going with the vanilla train. I'm gonna say 4.
I'll say that it's gonna be World 2 because I think that would be funny.
World 2, yeah, it would be funny. The World 2 airship with a thick Larry. ibuba's trying to go for a fire kill, but not needed. So, first wand grab at 521 for ibuba7. DLP is going to get his card now.
Yeah, the first card for ibuba was just an information gathering set of flips. So no lucky draws.
And they got the same card, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty uncommon since it's only a 1 in 8 chance.
Okay, DLP is through. Gets P-Wing. We got a hammer, and it is World 4, so ibuba lucks, and DLP are going to luck out. They get to skip half the world. So, because hammers and tourney flags 1 and 2 break lock. So this can speed up some of these worlds quite nicely.
Doesn't look like Bubba will, though.
That is interesting. There are other worlds where it pays off. DLP with the P-Wing gets the wand grab off stage, so he will save about 2 to 3 seconds with rolling.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice little time boost, but if you mess it up, it can be a lot of extra time from trying to do it.
Can be. We got a quicksand. 4-4 was before that one.
And, okay, he's going to go back, and he's going to skip half the world, so...
Right.
DLP is going to take advantage of the routing that ibuba isn't.
So... And he gets our second Fred, 4F1. 4F1.
Wow, and there was a hammer in the Hammer Bro that DLP is skipping, so now the item advantage is really high for Bubba.
Yes and no. If DLP gets that Hammer Bro to come back his way, it's fine. Which is got a decent chance. So it's not entirely lost yet, but ibuba's got a chance now to really clean up a little bit. Especially if he gets World 2 next, he could skip that entire world at Sans Pyramid. So...
I think DLP's gonna miss the Hammer Bro.
Yeah, he might. We'll see. He still possibly comes back.
The seed could also just be absolutely full of hammers, and we don't know it yet.
Well, given the rather unpleasant double auto-scroller in World 1, I think it's only fair that the seed offers a formal apology in the form of hammers.
A nice written apology from the game.
Yeah.
In the form of hammers.
And Mustard is talking about in his last group race, his world order was 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that's something.
That was just them changing the order a little bit. It's like when you copy your friend's homework.
Yeah, pretty much. So we got, there's a cloud for DLP, ibuba 6-2 right now.
These are really good Hammer Bros.
Yeah, it's like, man. Ooh, that's not so good.
This would be a great seed for the people who skip end cards.
Like, classic, yes. Star this time, but still waiting on that third Hammer Bro to come back. There he is.
Ooh, he is gonna... Oh, no, he's going for the Mushroom House.
Yeah. And then probably after, okay. So, 1 match, 2 matches, so both of the stars are taken care of. Ooh.
Yeah. Stars are one of the items on the end card that you get twice, so...
And it's 2 P-Wing.
Yep.
So,
those are the ones you want to see you get the good items.
So DLP and ibuba both went in opposite directions. ibuba went to 4-6, which is 5-4. DLP's in 7-3, and DLP actually did skip that hammer, bro. I'm a little surprised. Early on, it's good to get as many of these items as you can.
I guess in World 4, you just see 3 and you think, meh, 2 out of 3. That'll be good enough.
Maybe later, yeah, but this is an opportunity. This one's gonna hurt because, as we know, hammer. And, you know, just to complete the set of Fred in World 4, 4F2, everybody. I have found, if you get in a world like World 4, if you see, like, one World 4 fort, you're likely going to see the other. The World 7 forts do tend to stack together a bit, too. DLP had a little trouble with Boom Boom, but takes care of him.
That was a cool little movement from Bubba.
Yeah. There's another end card, and the Hammer Bro has come back, you know.
We'll see if he's if he takes the gift that keeps coming back.
He matches up the mushroom. Get an idea of what that is, and DLP skips him. Oof. So World 1 airship.
So that gives iBubba 2 hammers advantage right now in the same one.
Right. Well, he's got a chance to do a double in a couple of spots, so he can double up on World 3 if he wants.
Or 2.
So 1137 for ibuba. DLP just finishing up Iggy with his weird hitbox.
Yeah, the issue with the Koopa kids is if they jump very fast, their Y position goes through your stomp box sometimes because it's accelerating so fast it kind of skips the line where your feet touch their head.
Right. So, 2 down, about a 12-second difference between our runners. Another hammer for ibuba as he goes into World 6. So, 66% chance of getting something good here in the pipes, because pipes are randomized. And, okay, got the God Pipe.
It's a great pipe.
Yeah, 6-4, which is 1-5. Never trust 1-5. Rando. There are a few mantras we can rely on. That's one of them. You can never trust the slide in 1-5 because you usually get a bad draw. ibuba had a little trouble there with the Piranha, but he stays alive and maintains a 1-stage lead right now.
Yeah, the Piranha trolls a lot of people. It's usually pretty easy to get over in the vanilla game, but for some reason in the randomizer,
yeah,
things.
He's using a P-Wing in 6-5. Unfortunately, he's using it in a swimming level. He's got another end card coming to him.
Oof.
So DLP was considering it, I think, but decided not to. And, well, it's alright.
Oh yeah, I think that this level, well, one of the least enjoyed levels of vanilla, I think is pretty pleasant in the randomizer.
Yeah, it's like once you get a handle on the mid section that DLP is going through now with Jellyfish, once you do that, once you get a feel for that, it's actually not that bad a level.
Yeah, and DLP had one of the...
Ooh, DLP almost got clipped there by the baby blooper. So ibuba's going to help himself to another end card. DLP's a couple of stages away from doing that. There's a mat.
We'll find out what the flower and the mushroom is now, and the 20 cents.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Wow.
He's cleaning up.
Oh my gosh, that was just lucky too. He's just gonna finish it.
Yep. So we're gonna get a full accounting here, and there's a no, there's not a hammer in that.
Yeah, there's nothing good.
Nothing good. So no dice on a second round of the card. Ooh, DLP getting hit by comeback from the boomerang, and oh, he's got it. It's a forced draw now.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Double boomerangs can be tough. Oh no, he's got 0 lives.
Yep.
Got to really take this slow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
he's good.
All right. Phew.
And another hammer!
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So that actually brings them back to even on the hammer count because ibuba skipped it. So
We're both gonna rewatch this and be like, what?
And so ibuba actually used a cloud to skip the fort. DLP I think is taking 5 ups here. Yep.
Yeah, in this flag set, the middle fort's always just going to be the bridge builder
Right.
to the pipe up there, so nobody has to worry about needing a lock broken or something.
It's 610, and ibuba makes a good choice on his cloud because DLP is now playing the dreaded 7F2, while ibuba gets to pleasantly swim upstream. Yes, so the level we call waterfall.
You got a vanilla star placed there, which is usually pretty good for getting through that level, but the next jump after.
DLP got clipped by a somewhat dodgy hitbox there, and DLP's like, "Yep, not doing this."
And Bubba's using his hammer just to skip the fort at the end. That's it.
He's got, and he gets the clip in 6 in the vanilla World 6 airship. I kind of get it. Forts on average are longer than your regular levels, and he's got enough hammers to go around. He's got hammers for World 2 and 5 if he needs them.
Yeah, he's still got one in the back burner, but if the next world is like World 2, I would be a little bit disappointed right now.
Yeah. 1648 for ibuba for the wand grab. DLP still working his way up the waterfall.
Those waterfalls are not easy.
They can be tricky with the movement. Oh.
And we got World 7 instead.
Ugh. Yeah, this and DLP tries 6F3 and 7F1, aka Fort 9. Oh, God pipe for ibuba.
Oh, gold. That's what you want to see.
5. So
Gotta go ahead and just fly out here.
once he gets rid of Mr. Paragoomba, yes. Never trust those guys. They are the true enemy of the randomizer.
Yeah, they're oddly difficult.
Like some will say, Boss Bastard, the Angry Sun, or Fire Nippers. The correct answer is Paragoombas.
Yeah, I was working with somebody on a Kaizo level, and we were trying to make a section harder, and all we did was throw in a Paragoomba.
6-5 to the pyramid. Ibuba. DLP is working on Lemmy right now and gets rid of him. 1837. We got a dissenting voice from Human Mustard. He thinks the true enemy is Disco Waffles, and they are harder in version 1.2 since we randomized the movement.
It's true, especially in the Twisty Castle. Those are... Oh, the Michael Jordan Hammer Bro. Gets eye, Bubba.
Yeah, I've always got to remember, I see that guy, just run under him. Get under him before we land. So... got 5F1. So...
Yeah, I believe that there's a Hammer Brother placed in the air that they always do a big jump when they spawn.
Right. So... ibuba's got a bit of a lead right now of a couple stages on DLP316. Still got a lot of game to go. We're only at about the halfway point right now. We still got World 2, 3, and 5 to go.
And 8, of course.
And 8, of course, right. So ibuba's in the World 5 airship with, and he's armed. Ooh, DLP getting hit by a Paragoomba. He's gonna have to do that again.
Yeah, that's always a tough break. It's when you have to keep a power up, and there's a room that has that much chaos in it. Sometimes it can be a little frustrating.
Yeah. So.
But you got rid of the Paragoomba, and that's step 1.
Yeah, Ibuba did use his hammer suit 2017 wand grab. That is a little puzzling from him. Like DLP doesn't have his yet because he hasn't run through the card just yet. So I'm not sure about that move, but then again, Ibuba's 6-0, so what do we know, right?
There's a lot of levels where, no matter what, it's better to just go into the level with a power-up than to be small.
Right.
So it might just be I picked the first item that was available.
Right.
For speed.
And blink and you'll miss it quote from Aladdin from Bowser, talking about abject humiliation. Ibuba almost went down into the bottom section of 5-2. Managed to avoid that. That is abject humiliation, going down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's just such a long sequence of falling.
It's a long sequence, and it's not a very much fun to get out of there.
Yeah, especially with certain enemy sets.
DLP's got his second end card. Let's see.
Looks like he hasn't had much luck flipping these over. Maybe now's the time that he'll get the full card. Maybe has enough information from the other ones. That's a very strong starter. Yep, I think he'll just finish it out here.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's got it. No problem. So no Cloud to speak of. He's gonna play through 5F1. Ibuba had no trouble with 5-6.
He is still sitting on 2 hammers, though, DLP, whereas I think that Ibuba is maybe sitting on 1.
I think they're both at 2, actually. So I think they're good on the hammers. Ibuba's actually going back. Looked like he was about to get a repeat there. No luck. DLP took a death in 5F1. Ibuba's now in the 5-3, which is 6-7. Another auto-scroller turned off. So.
Yeah, this one can be tricky with the camera height, because some of the jumps look a little blind when you first take them.
6-2's got the same problem at the end. Some of those jumps are a little hard to sort of figure out because you really can't see what's below.
Yeah, Mario 3 does not like to change its camera height vertically, unless for some reason you have P-speed.
You're right, Mew. Ibuba did use a hammer in World 6 to skip 6F3, so that could come into play, but...
Well, there's still World 2 out there, which means that DLP could theoretically skip almost the whole world.
Theory, if they're going to have to use a hammer here unless they get something out of the, well, Ibuba's not, DLP still might. As he skipped the second hammer, bro, he's on his way to the tower.
It's amazing the difference in itemization and routing that happens in Randomizer. You don't really see that in a lot of platforming games.
Not often, though there does tend to be a certain, just sort of, I guess, like World 7, like, no matter what happens, everybody goes to 7-8. It's like, you know, nobody ever wants to see what's in 7-7, because 7-8 is close. World 4, I've always seen players generally go to 4-5, I think. Some go to 4-6, but, yeah. And it's just, it's like, given the choice of 7-4, 7-5, players tend to actually go 7-4, I think. Or if they get 7-3, 7-5, they'll take 7-3 instead of 7-5. Just because their muscle memory.
There's a little bit of a real-time risk in some of those. Like, not like a major one, but everything adds up, right? So if you pick, for instance, 7-8 instead of 7-7, then if you happen to die or if you suicide because it's an auto-scroller, then just the animation of spinning backwards is shorter.
Right. I suppose that's a fair point. So ibuba finishes off Air Force. DLP at Tier 5-2, I think. Yep. Another short level, 1-4. So
it took the randomizer to understand how short some of these auto-scrollers were.
Yeah, DLP taking a death in 5-6. Had a good start, but then mistimed his jump and went down, so he'll have to do that again. He's got Raccoon Mario this time, so it'll be a little easier.
Yeah, this level can be a little bit odd too. Normally it's meant to be done a little bit differently, so...
Yeah. So another 5 up for DLP. ibuba's in 3-2.
3-2 is mostly the same, right? I think they only randomize like a couple enemies at the end.
Yeah, some of the cheaps are a little randomized, I think, in terms of their movement sometimes. Or you might get like a floater, but yeah, generally it's the same. And for those of you just joining us, hi Wolfman. We've had a pretty good race so far. ibuba is leading by about 4 or 5 stages right now, but DLP has an extra hammer on hand, and that could help him get back into this. So, World 7 airship.
World 7 airship has a lot of places that can slow you down.
Yeah. I know some players have been kind of working on their P-speed strats for this stage, and it's actually quite impressive if you can get ahead of Steam going. It's quite a thing to see, and it's quite a thing to learn.
Yeah, if you're willing to take 1 damage boost, you can P-speed pretty much the whole level.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do that, then it's very easy to get P-speed under that area where you normally get an item block.
Right. So, ibuba grabs the wand about 27-16. Mew, LOZ Cards fan, is doing comms for tonight's late match between F. Coughlin, or Fred, and Justin Man 114. So, that should be an interesting match. Justin Man, I think is 1-2 or something, but he hasn't really played a lot of his matches. The only person in Group H who's really played all their matches is Amorietta. She is 7-0.
World 3 is not a god pipe, but
no, second best possibility of a god pipe. Because you're not blocked and you get to skip 3 levels. He's not gonna use his hammer. He's gonna save it and gets 2 forts. Good choice.
Yeah, I thought that was probably a panic use of a hammer if he used one there.
Yeah, he knows World 2 is last, so I think he realized, well, if nothing else, save it for that. If he gets boxed in behind 3F2, I don't know if he'll use it then. I would say no. I think it's only 1 extra stage if you take the other way around, but see.
Yeah, a lot of decisions in Randomizer aren't always optimal, necessarily. I mean, you're having to think of things very quickly, and sometimes you just make a choice.
Yeah, it's like, sometimes that is the more prudent decision, decide, do something. And ibuba is boxed in.
And he's thinking about it. The indecision, though, is at this point, I mean, that was a good 5-10 seconds.
And sometimes it isn't, and this is, I think, also true in Flags 2 and 3, Flags 2 and Eternity Bracket, because if you see something on the map, it's not a bad idea just to take 2 seconds, just think,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, just give yourself a second, look at the situation, and try and take stock of what you have, and then make a decision, because if you end up making an impulse decision and it burns you, it really, really have an adverse effect. And he knew, and he knew there's an extra hammer in World 2. He's got a hammer playing World 2 that'll save him 3 levels, guaranteed. So it was a good choice by him.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing he did make that, you know, little pause.
Right.
It feels like his first instinct was to use the hammer.
And normally it would be, and normally you'd be right. And in this case, that didn't. In this case, he was fortunate it wasn't, because yeah, it saved him a lot of time and trouble. DLP is on the World 7 airship. ibuba's in 3.8, almost a Fred. It's just like one level over.
Fred just moving stuff around just a little bit to get out of working hard.
No boss bass either. I haven't seen much of him today.
Yeah, he really hasn't been predominant in this seed.
No, Fire Nipper showed up a couple of times and they kind of went away. Nice 4-1 by ibuba, using some of those Warpless and Hundo strats effectively.
Yeah, it's a tough level even with the speedrunning strats. It's just, or at least not very P-speed smooth or anything.
Now, 31-12 for DLP. ibuba ignores the end card. There he is.
We said something and he came.
6-1 is a popular stage for Boss Bass to appear.
I've never seen a tail whip on a Boss Bass before.
Oh, it's tricky, but because he can still get you. But nice floater there. So DLP is just starting World 6 as ibuba's is about to leave it. So ibuba's in the World 4 airship. If you get Fire Mario here, this is a good place to get a fire kill on Wendy.
Yeah, although this floor setup makes it a little hard sometimes.
Can be. Usually, what I've 32-18 for ibuba on the one-hit Wendy. What I found is, you know, I start shooting fireballs at her. She actually starts running up because I'm getting her at the platform, and like 9 fireballs in, she hits. Ugh. It's like I can't get away in time.
Oh, this isn't DLP's first rodeo. He knows that you can't go too high in this.
Right. Little streetcar named Desire from the King, talking about the kindness of strangers.
Oh, there's a hammer in the letter.
Double hammer time. Here we go. ibuba lucks out with the draw, and he is gonna fly his way through World 2.
Good grief!
Wow.
This wasn't end card hammers. It was the game just gave them like 5 hammers.
No. And ibuba's last level, only obstacle between here and the finish is 5-3, which is not exactly what you want to see, because it is a pretty long stage, but so DLP actually did use his hammer, and that's a Fred. That's 3F2.
I'm glad we get to see what these stages were.
So, but this is going to work out fine for him anyways, because of that hammer. He's going to draw from the princess.
And that means he does save a stage, right?
Overall, yeah.
And a transition.
Yeah, 3... Yeah. So yeah, he skips... He's up the stage, basically, but still a ways to go.
Yeah. It's the start of his comeback.
It's going to be quite a comeback if it is. I think we're still looking at like a hand situation here for a comeback to be complete, but well, we shall see. World 3 airship is the last one up. Fred versus Justin at 9:30 is not a doubleheader. It's a one-off. We do have a double. We have actually two doubleheaders today. After this, ibuba and DLP will play the second half of their double, and they will be joined by the Alan Heffley and S. Diesel, who are going to be starting their doubleheader, and they're going to both play Tourney Flags 2, and then after that, Alan Heffley and Diesel will play the second half under Tourney Flags 1. So,
good games. Looks like a really good matchup.
It's about a 34-43 for ibuba. He's got a shot at a sub-40 here. I haven't mentioned that yet. We've only had 3 sub-40s under Tourney Flags 1.
Oh yeah, it is pretty rare.
Yeah, the first up is our third hand stage in World 8. Yeah, who's got him? GamerCal, the Hacksaw, and YoBGS all have sub-40.
It's very difficult to get a seed that allows you to do that, and then once you get the seed, also play it so well.
Right. And so we've had 3 sub-40s, and in Tourney Flags 2, we've had 1 sub-30 from Fonzoid.
Huh. ibuba's going to go for doing the Navy instead of doing the fort that gets him 2 pipes.
That is an interesting choice. I'm not. I would have played a 8 fort myself. But you know, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I take the boat first sometimes. Just if I respect my opponent a lot and I'm thinking I want to like take a risk, sometimes I'll do the boat before checking the pipe. Yeah,
and we'll see how this goes. He has no hammers, so he can't. Okay, so that's gonna lead him back to DLP is playing. I think is saving a hammer for World 8, and that's not gonna help him here. He gets 6-6 as his reward.
That's another Fred.
Yes, it is.
My God.
Best fort in the game.
Yeah, this level is actually longer than the auto scroll that some people skip with clouds. And it's dangerous.
Can be. Okay, ibuba does not get the 1 cycle, but he can do. He's going to stop and. Okay. Sometimes my preferred strategy if I'm small now is just to go under and just make a run for it and take my chances with Boom Boom. It's a little tricky because of the moving platform, but
with the inventory in Randomizer, I think that's a really great choice.
Yeah.
I know that in vanilla, if I was in that situation, I would probably go through the door twice and power up to full. But
yeah. So we got 3 pipe checks now. DLP gonna not DLP. ibuba's gonna check the one behind the lock, and okay. So now we're down to 1 pipe check because 2 of them feed into each other. Okay.
The hand bridge won't be necessary unless they need the key.
They will need the key, but oh, yeah, that's right. It could be 8-1 or it could be Air Force required. So Air Force, I think, is probable it's required because I don't think the pipes feed into each other like that, like they used to.
It doesn't seem like there would be any problem with them feeding into each other since they could never be reached. But
yeah,
they might not just like having that possibility.
So 2-4 for ibuba and 8-1. So I think either way he's gonna have to play Air Force just to break the lock, because I think it's gonna preclude him from being able to go forward. I think, or we'll see.
Yeah, there's still a couple of things that can happen here.
Good. See what we got. DLP.
Ooh, and he does have to. He doesn't have a hammer left.
Right. So yeah, so Air Force is required, but luckily he's already cleared the decks to get there. And he won't have to go across the hand bridge, which is nice, but you will have to do some navigation, backtracking to get there.
Yep. At least then he doesn't have to do a hand bridge.
So, rip sub 40.
Yeah, World 8, even in flag set 1, can really extend the length of a randomizer. Normally it's the equalizer in flag set 2, but still...
And in brackets, too. Yeah. Because especially since hammers don't quite have as much value in World 8 and Flags 2 that they do in Flags 1. Because it ends up being a shell game in a sense, and you ultimately can't use them on the final pass, which it's all bridges. Generally.
Yeah, they can be used for some clutch moments, but the hammers in World 8 aren't as defining.
Right. So ibuba is in go mode. He is only 2 stages away from closing this out. DLP is fighting Morton right now, just off at 40-45. So he's about 6 minutes behind. He's got an extra hammer, I believe, but it won't be enough, I don't think, to save him.
Yeah, there's not really a quick way through this.
No, unfortunately, no. The only thing it would do... Yeah, it's like wouldn't help him. He'd have to. It would take a lot of mental gymnastics to even consider it, and even then, I don't see it. So ibuba keeps the 3 boos at bay and take on his final boom boom.
Basically, I believe he would need like a hammer and 2 clouds, and still he would have to do 4 levels.
Right. So ibuba is not have a hammer suit. So no fire suits, no fire or hammer kills on Bowser. DLP, nice clip there by ibuba. Saves about 1.5 seconds or so.
Skip the power up. Which I would do too, because Bowser's almost easier when you're small than when you're just big.
Right. DLP having no trouble in 3F1. The door is 6-4.
Now Bowser's gonna harmlessly hop on top of ibuba's head. Oh, until it wasn't harmless.
It might have been quasi-intentional. DLP thinking about it, and he actually is going to play a 5F2, which is actually the correct move, and that's a good idea just to kind of loosen some of the map up a little bit for him. So, get out the GGs for ibuba7, who moves to 7-0 with this win.
It's a great record.
Finishes with an official SRL time of 43:12.
"43 minutes into a seed, that's a pretty good time."
That is very...
Still doing very well.
DLP, if he plays his cards right, is looking at about a sub 50, like a 48 or 49 seed. Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I think that the done from ibuba is going to give him some hints as to what kind of World 8 this is.
Yeah. Regarding a question in chat, how many 8-0s are there currently? There are 4 of us. Myself, Raikou Rider, Classic Gamer 88, Macobra are all 8-0.
DLP died at the end of 8.
Yeah, ouch.
That's not where he wanted to die.
Yeah, short hop the jump, unfortunately. So Did Ibuba even die? You know, I don't think he did take a death. And, depending on how this goes, as far as play is concerned, Fonzoid is looking well positioned to finish 8-0. So is Ibuba. Cavan and Leslie Pro have a chance. Human Mustard has a chance. In spite of what he's saying, GamerCal's got a chance at 8-0 if he sweeps Mitch. Zodiac Dread's 4-0. I think every group has a chance to have a player go undefeated except for Group K, because everybody has lost in that group.
That must be a fun group.
Yeah, Yo BGS, Paradox, and the Hacksaw are circling each other for first place right now. The Paradox and Hacksaw are actually playing a double tomorrow.
That should be a great match.
I think it will be, because it's gonna really put him to the test, I think. Hacksaw split his first two matches with Yo BGS. He won the first game with his like 36-minute flag 1, and then got a little twisted around in flags 2, and BGS took a pretty solid win off of him.
Yeah, I watched both of them today practicing, and they're both really trying to kick up their games.
Yeah, for sure. And BGS made quite a statement in his first match when he actually beat Paradox in Flags 1 by like 40 seconds. Really brutal Flags 1. So, DLP opted to take the item in 1-3, which is interesting. He's got a hammer suit, so he's got a hammer kill coming up. Bowser, if he's going to take the road less traveled in 2-4. Fair enough.
I wonder if this has anything to do with, he already knows that ibuba's done. Now he can just, like, kind of take it careful and cruise through.
Right, and taking left side isn't the worst thing, especially if you're kind of leery about those Hammer Brothers down below in 2-4, because they are randoed and cause all sorts of trouble for you.
Yeah, and while he already knows that he's lost this match, it doesn't mean that he wants to lose time to, like, a death or something.
No, that's true, and
average time still matters.
Right. Yes, it does. As I had stated at the start, even if DLP gets swept here, he is guaranteed another match, because if he finishes 4-4, he will face One Fine Day, a one-game playoff for second place. Because both of them will have finished 4-4, and both of them actually split their matches against each other. So,
wow.
So there will be a one-game playoff at a to-be-determined date under tourney bracket auspices. So DLP at least has that as a. I'm sure that's not what he wants. I'm sure he'd like to win and guarantee himself a second place finish. But if all else fails and Ibuba does take care of business in the 7 o'clock match, at least he's got that as a fallback. So DLP taking his time going up the stairs.
I always knew that the hammer strat here was so much faster than doing the brick strat, obviously.
Right.
But I didn't really comprehend how much better it was until I saw that Haxer and Mitch Flower Power finish last night.
Yeah. It's like,
that was crazy.
Yeah, you want to see, it's like, there it is. Like, that was like a 25-second swing. It's like that. It was insane.
Haxer started the level with a hammer suit, while Mitch started the fight.
Right. So DLP takes care of business, drops Bowser with the hammer, and finishes with an official SRL time of 49-29. So GG's to both of them. Their second match will start in about 40 minutes. Attorney Flags 2, it'll be a four-way match. They're sharing the stage on Speed Gaming 3 with the Alan Heffley and S Diesel from Group D, who will be playing a doubleheader as well. Wolfman 2000 will be on the mic for that one. So, I'm sure you're all looking forward to that. I'm sure he is too. It's going to be quite a match, and again, fairly major implications here. And then after that, Wolfman will be sticking around for the 8:30 match, which will just be the Alan Heffley and S Diesel. And then 9:30, we will have a Group H match between Justin Man 114 and F Coughlin. So
definitely make sure to follow these runners, guys. They both did a great job here.
Absolutely. And give us a follow too if you want, but start with the runners. Let me just take a look at the rest of the schedule. Yeah, tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, it's the big one between Paradox and the Hacksaw. Major playoff implications there. And then, yeah, that's all we have right now for Sunday. Group play is winding up here. We are just under 2 weeks away from the end of group play, and then brackets will start Monday, March 11th. So the end is sooner than you realize, folks.
Yep.
So thanks all for watching. Thanks to Jabum for helping me out with the commentary today. Much appreciated. And thanks all for watching. And GG's again to Ibuba and DLP316.
Yep, it was great being here. Thanks.